Captain, my take is that the only way to open it safely is exposing it to the Imag.
Are you sure?
This deadbolt is a piece made by Phobos priests. Their devices were famous for being impenetrable, forged with the remainders of a meteorite. If anyone messes with it, it will launch a discharge of an energy that will cause a deep, infinite terror to whoever receives it.
An energy that causes terror? That's preposterous.
Maybe for you, but for the Atlanteans, the power of Phobos was real enough. Do you think that fear, destructive imagination, and hopelessness don't exist?
Not presented in the shape of fireworks and sparks.
If you don't believe me, feel free to break the chest with a crowbar.
How can the Imag open it?
The Imag feeds itself with Mr. Verne's imagination and uses it to creatively change our reality. Therefore, it's a positive force, directly opposed to the kind of energy that the deadbolt uses. I'm reasonably convinced that the energy of the Imag will nullify the one in the lock.
You mean like sand and rust?
Could be. The deadbolt is a rusty key, and the Imag, the sand that wipes away when scrubbed.
Do it, Verne.
Uh-oh.
What the...
What now?
The Imag. It doesn't work. It looks like it ran out of energy. That explosion must have dried it up.
You must make it work. We must release the compass of destiny from this chest.
Shouting at me won't help.
Adriel, go and look for Petrov. May he bring the torch and...
Captain, I must advise against force opening the chest. Unless you want to lose your mind. What is imperative now is to find an answer to why the Imag is dead.
If you have any theory, spit it out now.
It's possible that, given that the Imag gets its energy from the imagination of its host, the problem is inside your mind, Verne.
In my mind?
Yes, that's true. You talked about hallucinations.
Yes. For an instant, I traveled back to a bridge in Paris. I had a similar vision at the island.
Do you remember seeing something like this in your vision?
It certainly has a likeness with the shadow I saw at the bridge, but are you telling me that I saw Phobos, the Atlantean god of fear?
Fear is a narrow description of what Phobos really meant to the Atlantean people. For them, he was the destructive imagination, the one born out from despair and angst. You could also say that his sister Placea, however, represented fantasy. But the truth was that she was perceived as the source of the creative imagination, the one that thrives from hope. I think that Atlanteans believed that the balance between the two brothers dictated one's own sanity. If Phobos has broken that balance in your mind, that would explain the Imag's silence.
Mythology? You're talking about mythology? I don't believe in Phobos, hence it's impossible that it's harming me.
The thing here is, you are afraid. Too much fear inside you. Until you don't master it, I'm afraid that the Imag will never work again.
I refuse to believe in hocus pocus.
And how can you explain the Imag blast? It saved your life.
I don't question that the Atlantean technology doesn't work. What I mean is that...
Enough with the debate! We are losing precious time. What matters is that the Imag only works with you. It's obvious that your hallucinations are a symptom of some kind of disorder. Visit Dr. Cedric and get yourself a neurological check. That's an order.
All right.
You, Adriel, check the reparations. We must keep afloat for 2 days until we get to the base. We must assume that Commander Hetzel is not far from us.
Yes, Captain.
Why are you still here?
Aren't you bothered by the way we were attacked? They fell upon us too easily. It's more than probable that there was a traitor on board.
A traitor? In the Nautilus? Never. I have personally chosen each member of this crew. There is no question that the nation has found a way to decode our communications.
I envy your confidence, Captain, but you should be aware that during the attack, I found that someone shot Shun's body, after his death. I believe that the murderer was trying to hide the fact that he was killed before the boarding.
God damn it. Let's keep our eyes opened. If there is a traitor in such a small space, he or she will be exposed sooner or later. God damn it!
Okay. Hello. My name is Mars, and welcome back to Verne, the Shape of Fantasy. That was quite a long cutscene to start off, and I didn't get my intro in. But, yeah. Alright, one thing I noticed immediately, I said, like during that cutscene, I said in the first episode, I think that the developers of this game are Spanish, and I feel like that was just confirmed because there was a bit of a translation error. It was talking about Phobos and Placia, who are siblings, a brother and a sister, but Adriel referred to them as brothers. I am sure that's because in Spanish, hermanos can mean neutrally siblings of any gender, but it can also mean specifically brothers. And I feel like that's where some of the confusion just happened. So, interesting thought. Oh, why did I close that? There was no reason to close that. We need to see the doctor. We need to go see the doctor.
I may have my issues, but Atlantean magic? Come on. Let's go to Deck 3 to see Doc.
Okay. Aftermath Part 1. Okay. The doctor is... Where are we? We'll go through here, through the library. I think we can get around freely now. Stuff isn't as blocked.
Nemo's organ has always fascinated me, and also gives me chills, just like the captain.
Mobilis in mobile. That seems like a common phrase used in this game, and apparently the motto of the Nautilus. It has something to do with motion. Motion in motion? I don't really know. I don't remember what, like, declensions those words are, so... I couldn't really tell you exactly what it meant. I can look it up later, maybe. Can we play the piano? I mean, the organ? God. It's obviously an organ, Mars. Why do we even bother talking? Okay, we saved here. That's no good.
It doesn't work. I can't reach the sickbay. I'll go to the bridge and see if Nadine can help me.
Okay. Talk to Nadine on the bridge. Is that Nadine right up there?
Mr. Verne, don't come any closer. These cargo exhausts are quite damaged, and you could breathe polluted air.
I will, but what about you, son?
Don't worry, I'm used to it, and it takes a big deal of carbon dioxide to knock me down.
Will they hold until we reach the base?
I'm working on it. Oh, they must hold. Without them, we couldn't breathe.
I'll stop bothering you. Good luck with that.
Thanks. I will need it.
Okay. We met another member of the crew, Suni. And the bridge was up behind the chart room, I believe, yes?
Jules, good to see you.
Nadine, I'm glad you're alive.
I have a big headache thanks to a rifle butt, but I'm in one piece, not like this melting piece of junk.
It is still a striking piece of junk.
That's because I'm the one who steers it, babe.
Don't you find it weird how the servo radars stop working? They always have spotted any enemy approach from miles away.
Maybe they have discovered a way of avoiding them. All technology improves, even the bad guys.
It looks like too much improvement for such a short time. Don't you think it's possible that someone of the crew has...
Verne, take my advice. Don't go insinuating the idea of a treason. Morale is low enough to allow paranoia gets installed in the ship.
I guess you're right.
The nation?
Do you think they will find us again?
No doubt about it. We have decoded a radio message from the nation. The Raven is still alive and it's behind us at full throttle. Your hocus pocus stuff only sent him 200 miles away from us. Sooner or later he will fall upon us, and that's for sure.
If we keep ourselves underwater, he won't find us.
We have been 2 days without recycling air, and the oxy-recyclers are quite damaged. If we don't emerge soon, you will discover what it's like to want to puke with every breath.
Wonderful. The attack has been more of an ambush, don't you agree? They were waiting for us. Did any radio message come out the days before? You must have seen it.
Negative. 10 days ago, the captain imposed silence at the Nautilus. Nothing comes in, neither out.
Is there any radio channel that avoids the primary systems?
Nemo's personal telecommunicator. He's the only one that holds the codes. He uses it for his business with the resistance cells.
You were part of one of these cells, isn't that so?
You can bet your ass. I never had eaten more mud in my fucking life. We traveled fast through Emira, no more than 3 days in the same spot. We stole from the nation everything that wasn't hammered to the ground. The good thing about that is that I barely knew the warfront.
And then the Nautilus.
Think about it. A toddler like me, recruited by the Nautilus. I would have done anything Nemo asked me.
Not anymore.
Well, I've been locked here for a while, fighting, and I feel that there's a lot of things outside that I'm missing out.
Fighting tyranny is a horrible job, but someone has to do it.
Yes, I know.
I like Nadine, she's fun.
I came for a more mundane issue. Can you activate the elevators for a moment? I must reach the sickbay.
Of course, I hope you're fine. I will give you a few seconds of energy. We are so low at fuel that even seals pass us. God, what I'd give for being shopping in New York.
Okay. Okay, I think the elevator I wanted to use is down here. Yes. God. A lot of this game's dialogue is not very well translated. Oh. That's a pity. It's even more of a pity that they make the voice actors just read it as is instead of trying to make it make sense, you know? I can tell the writing quality itself is there. Hello, Doctor.
Verne, you were here. The Nemiagram isn't prepared yet. Come on in. Make yourself comfortable. How are you?
I felt better before my conversation with Nemo. He's getting more nervous each day.
That happens to all of us.
What's this device? Nemiogram? A memory writer?
That's it. I designed it months ago, but I hadn't the chance to test it. It induces a deep hypnosis.
They just didn't translate that word at all. They just wrote pero instead of but. Okay.
Trance to a patient, and it's ideal to explore the blocked corners inside his or her mind, theoretically.
Theoretically?
Yes. Your checkup from after the boarding shows no brain damage, nor blood clots that explain your hallucinations. So I decided to try an alternative approach.
Hypnosis? Why?
The Imag and you are linked by imagination.
Doctor, that sounds terribly unscientific.
Call it in brainwaves or whatever you like. The undeniable matter here is that the Imag only works with your brain. The Raven attack provoked a trauma, and because of that, the Imag doesn't work anymore.
And how is this machine supposed to cure me?
It will not cure you. My intention with the Nemiogram is to discover what happened to you at that island. You have told me many times that although you don't hold any memory of that episode, you believe that there is where you found the Imag and suffered your first bridge hallucination. Maybe the memory of the events you experienced at the island holds the answer, or at least a clue that will help us to cure your malady and the captain's concerns.
A very interesting hypothesis, but frankly, Doc, are you sure that you aren't going to fry my brains?
Of course not. Theoretically. I guess we'll be able to find out about it. Relax while I finish the adjustments.
I don't even know what that is anymore.
The vaccine.
So, how's the vaccine?
Intact, at least. Luckily, the nation minions didn't make it to here. On the other hand, my research is absolutely at a standstill. Cholera is an extremely resistant bacteria. Each day more and more people die from it. For what I've been informed, the horror I lived in India is nothing compared to what is going on right now among the workers of the nation's factories.
You know you have me here for whatever you need. In the event I survive this machine, of course. Someone around here has told me a story about you facing the Bloody Raven years ago.
I don't know who has told you such a stretch of the truth. I just have seen him once, from away, and he still froze the blood in my veins. It was a long time ago, in India, in a village in the middle of the jungle. We the Brits were holding our position in front of the nation's advances until the Raven and his Echo guards arrived.
How do you think they have found us? We didn't emerge for 3 days.
I've been at war too many years to still believe in coincidence.
Did you analyze Shun's body? I believe I saw something.
Something that didn't match the scene, right? He didn't die from bullet wounds. Lethal head injury. My suspicion, somebody attacked him from behind before the nation's boarding, and then shot the body to blend the murder with the other deaths.
That night, he was on bridge duty, and mysteriously, servo radar stopped working. Someone in the crew is...
You should discuss these matters with the captain. I am just a doctor. My patients are my mission, and right now, you're one of them.
When do we start?
It's ready. Let's begin. Focus. Tell me about the bridge.
It's a bridge. In Paris, I believe. Mist surrounds me. I have a strange feeling, because there is someone else here with me. I have felt that very same presence before, at the island, before the Nautilus.
Focus on it. Let yourself go.
I'll try. It's difficult to focus. Everything began 6 months ago, the day of the wreck of the AES Annabel Lee.
Alright, that was chapter 2, apparently. And now if this is a flashback... Alright, this is where the demo started.
Cedric's strange machine unleashed my memories, lightening the dark void of my stay at the island. The Annabel Lee was my first assignment as a scientific officer at the American Empire Navy. In addition to the war's own menace, there was a rumor that a huge sea monster was around, sinking ships. Despite my skepticism, 3 weeks after our departure, in the dead of night, that rumor became a reality by pouncing on our ship and in a matter of minutes wrecking us. By some miracle, I survived. Luckily, the currents brought me to the island. Later, I understood that my extraordinary journey started right there.
Alright, so this is the island he was talking about when he said he had visions of the bridge. An extraordinary voyage. He had visions of the bridge on the island.
Where am I?
Alright, find shelter. This is part of the demo.
It's destroyed. Fixing it will be difficult.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the whole time they were talking, I could really only focus on how bad the translation is. That's something that bothers me specifically because I'm really big into languages and I've always wanted to be a translator. And lately it's become kind of a dream of mine to do localization on video games.
The attack. The monster. That sea beast came out from beneath and rammed the Annabel leak, ripping apart the hull like a rotten fruit. Why is it so hard to recall?
Yeah. But I know that a lot of companies have started to fall back on machine translation, and this kind of stinks of that a little bit. And it's really disappointing because I know a human like me could do better. And like, Spanish is my L2. It's the language I would translate out of, and I'm so glad that people in Spanish-speaking countries are making games. But if they're going to translate them into English, they need someone like me, a human being who speaks English as their first language and also can translate from Spanish. They need someone to do that. This kind of makes me angry and at the same time kind of sharpens my
There's
resolve.
no sign of life.
Sharpens my resolve to pursue that dream, you know? I want games to have better localizations than this. Alright, I'll stop talking about the translation and the writing now. I'll just focus on the game and the puzzles.
Maybe I will find someone inland. Oh, I need food.
Alright.
A petroglyph. It's ancient. It must mean something.
Look at those clouds and the trees moving. Gosh, this game really is beautiful. Oh, what's this?
An old letter. Seems to be written by an outcast. It must be important.
Oh, it's a collectible. Alright. Monsters, September 19th. Night and day I could think of nothing but how I might destroy some of the monsters in their cruel, bloody entertainment, and if possible, save the victim they should bring hither to destroy. And what could one man do among them, where perhaps there might be 20 or 30 of them together with their darts or their bows and arrows, with which they could shoot as true to a mark as I could with my gun? Now, is this talking about human beings? Don't love that. Escape. I'm calling them monsters. Do side mission, Castaway. How do I see my side missions? Here. Castaway. Oh, and I can find the other 2 letters. Alright. I remember this. Dear God, that's lovely. Alright.
I need something to clear up this thicket.
Yes, I believe we find a machete.
This place is a paradise, but not a soul around. I hope this island will not become my grave.
I hope not either, bud. Why would I press E to jump down when I can just jump like that?
There's something written on it. In this place, I arrived on September the 30th of... I cannot read the year. Another petroglyph. The symbols are different. A lift. A former inhabitant made it. I hope that if he is still around, he will be friendly. However, it's been a long time since this was built. It might work, if only I could find a tackle.
Yeah. There's a piece of rope that's not attached. Oh boy. The best way to tie the rope is to use the clove hitch, a sailing knot. Select the direction of the rope. Okay, so I want it to go under. And then I remember I had trouble with this. Under, up. No, that's not right. I need to try again. Down, up. Okay. You must follow the knot shape and move the rope in the correct order to tie it. So, okay. So, I need to follow the picture. It goes down and then it goes around and up. And then it goes across and down. And it goes up. No. Okay. Yeah, I had a lot of trouble with this one. Down. Up. No. God. Ugh. I remember that when I did this right, it would like... Oh, there we go. Where am I starting from? Yes, when I do it right, it moves it for me. Okay. So I want to start here, then down, then up, down left. Okay. So I think I got the lift working now, but first I want to go this way.
I need to break the lock.
We need to break the lock with something. A tackle. Now we have it in our inventory. A tackle for the lift. Hello, birdie. Oh, you're so cute. Yeah, there was a note over here. Alright, earth shaking, November 27th. I was so much amazed by the thing itself, having never felt the like, nor discoursed with anyone that had, that I was like one dead or stupefied. And the motion of the earth made my stomach sick, like the one that was tossed at sea. But the noise of the falling of the rock awakened me, as it were, and rousing me from the stupefied condition I was in, filled me with horror, and I thought of nothing then but the hail falling upon my tent and all my household goods, and burying all at once, and this sunk my very soul within me a second time. After the third shock was over, and I felt no more for some time, I began to take courage, and yet I had not heart enough to go over my wall again, for fear of being buried alive, but sat still upon the ground, greatly cast down and disconsolate, not knowing what to do. Also, we got caught in an earthquake. I don't know what that has to do with the first part of the story. Right.
There's a series of marks. It could be a calendar. If we take each of the small ones for a week and the big ones for months, mon Dieu, it's a whole life.
It says RC was here. So that must be the name of our castaway. Yeah, I still don't have the thing to break the box, but I do have the tackle. Great, remember you can use any item for your inventory by pressing action where its use is required, but it only works with the right item. Alright. Oh, and there's a big rock for a counterweight. Wow, that's beautiful. I love the details and the shadows on the mountain. Let's see, another big look had at the beach. That last mountain has a great big hollow in it. I wonder if we're gonna go in there at some point. Alright. Oh, this bridge looks rickety. I hope it doesn't break. Oh, okay. Ooh, look at that waterfall. Lovely. Okay, here's a ladder that's been tied off.
I must find a shelter first.
Okay. Oh, scary tree. Why does it have a face?
I'm safe. Not in bad shape. It could be a good shelter until somebody rescues me. These trees have fruits. And back there's a stream of water. Now I need to rest. Tomorrow, with a clearer head, I will find how to fix it.
All right.
I spent 2 days completely alone. Despite that, the island was familiarly comfortable. It was a beautiful place. All my life, I dreamed about freedom and exploring the world. Maybe that was the way destiny had to give me the chance to fulfill my desire for adventure. What the hell? I wasn't wrong. I must find out what that light was.
Flame of imagination. All right. So something exciting is happening on this island, but I think I'm gonna leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger and end the episode here. Sorry I complained a little too much about the translations. It's just something that needles me a little bit. And this is far from the first game I've noticed this problem in. I think it's because we're relying too much on machines to do a human's work, but I am enjoying the game other than that. Like, that knot puzzle was the death of me during the demo, but now I see it's very cool. I like it a lot, and I like the adventure game aspects, like finding inventory items and using them. I'm glad that element has come into play now. So, yeah. I have been Mars, and I will be back with more Verne, The Shape of Fantasy.